Hello there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an unexplained artifact video on the Fuenta Magna. But first, show you this neat shirt that my wife made for me. She does all kinds of neat things for me. I love the hell out of her. She's awesome. If you haven't checked out her YouTube channel, it's called Stuff and Other Things. The picture is a black and white horse, the horse from Animal Farm. So go check that out. She's got some really cool videos on mythology and things like that. So my son also does some stuff on his channel, Arcane Gaming. It's got kind of a white SCP sigil. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I don't do the SCPs like he does. Anyway, on to the video. For those of you who don't know, the Fuenta Magna has been called the Rosetta Stone of the Americas. It was found in 1958, and it's essentially a large stone bowl, pot, a baked stone pot, bowl, whatever you want to call it. It was found in Bolivia. The inscriptions all over the bowl are in two different languages. Cuneiform, which is ancient Sumerian, and another language called Pukara, P-U-K-A-R-A, which is pre-Tiwanaku. Sorry if I'm getting these names wrong. Bear with me. Now, this means that the ancient Sumerians may have been world travelers. The cuneiform was the language of the ancient Sumerians in ancient Mesopotamia about 3500 BCE. That's 3,500 years, as I understand it, 3,500 years before Christ. Pukara is a pre-Columbian culture at approximately 1800 BC, which is 1,800 years before Christ. For these two cultures to have been present together, means that that the Sumerians rather traveled from the Middle East to South America approximately 2,000 years before Christ. That's just ridiculous. It's unheard of. There have been some relics and some writings found in North America that are ancient Hebrew, which, as I understand it, comes from the same area, and it's, pre-Christ, as it were. Phoenicians, I think ancient Phoenician, I think it was, as I recall. But this bowl, if it's, it just blows everything out of the water. For the ancient Sumerians from Mesopotamia to have traveled by boat, either through the Mediterranean or around Africa, or even the other way for that matter, all the way around the world, and ended up in South America prior to, at 2,000 years before Christ, is ridiculous. It blows the entire the current scientific narrative out of the water. As I understand it, they're finding more and more evidence that the oceans, how was it put? There was an archaeologist that people kind of think is a crackpot. I can't remember his name. I want to say it's David Hatcher Childress, but don't quote me on that one. But they think he's kind of a crackpot. But he appears on Ancient Aliens and a bunch of other stuff, so people kind of take him with a grain of salt. But there's more and more evidence to support the theory that this guy has, that the ancient waterways weren't boundaries. Instead, they were roads. People were on boats sailing around the world. He apparently has found evidence of Egyptians in North America, which, again, blows the narrative right out of the water. All of this stuff, if you found one thing that was out of place, well, maybe they did some trading or whatever. And, oh, look, they got this old bowl. Let's take it over to South America. And, this old bowl's 3,000 years old, and then 1,000 years ago they took it and put it in South America. You could see, if you found one or two things like that, yeah, okay, fine, it's an anomaly, no big deal. But they're finding more and more things that point to ancient civilizations that were much more advanced than what we're led to believe. They're finding all kinds of artifacts that shouldn't exist from way, way, way back. Michael Cremo wrote his book Forbidden Archaeology about these artifacts and other things that they're finding at depths and in materials that shouldn't be. Again, if you found one or two, you know, I could see a way to explain it. But as I understand it, they're finding so many of them that people are having a hard time explaining them. Well, maybe if you have a theory and it's an accepted theory, but then you keep finding evidence to disprove that theory, maybe the theory's wrong. I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, if you get a chance to look it up, it's the Fuenta Magna. It's a stone bowl found in Bolivia in 1958. So do some research. Look some of this stuff up yourself. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.